Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you went there? Or opened your phone to do something important and then spent 5 minutes wondering, why did I unlock my phone? Maybe you blamed your age. Maybe you thought, I'm just becoming forgetful. But what if I told you that one of the biggest thieves of memory isn't getting older? It's stress. And the scary part? Stress doesn't just make you feel bad. It can actually change the way your brain works. Today, let's discover how stress quietly attacks your memory, and more importantly, what you can do to stop it. Imagine your brain as a huge library. Every memory is like a book. When you meet someone new, learn a new word, or remember where you parked your car, your brain carefully places another book onto the shelves. The librarian responsible for organizing all these books is a small part of your brain called the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's memory manager. If the hippocampus works well, memories are stored neatly and can be found whenever you need them. But stress changes everything. Let's imagine something. You're walking in a forest. Suddenly, you hear a loud growl behind you. Your heart starts racing. Your breathing becomes faster. Your muscles become tense. Your brain immediately shouts, "Forget everything else. Survive first." At that moment, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. People often call cortisol the stress hormone. Now, cortisol isn't your enemy. In fact, it's one of the reasons humans survived for thousands of years. Without it, our ancestors might not have escaped dangerous animals. For short periods, cortisol is incredibly useful. It gives you energy. It sharpens your senses. It helps you react quickly. The problem begins when stress doesn't leave. Today, most of us aren't running away from lions. Instead, we're chased by deadlines, bills, exams, traffic, arguments, constant notifications. Our body reacts to all of these almost the same way it reacts to physical danger. The alarm system stays switched on, and cortisol keeps flowing, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. This is where memory begins to suffer. Remember the hippocampus, the little librarian? Imagine trying to organize thousands of books while someone keeps pulling the fire alarm every 5 minutes. Could you concentrate? Probably not. That's exactly what happens inside your brain. When cortisol stays high for a long time, the hippocampus struggles to create new memories. Information enters your brain, but it never gets properly stored. That's why stressed people often say things like, "I just studied this yesterday. I know this person's name. I had something important to do." It's not because they're lazy. It's because their brain is busy surviving instead of remembering. Scientists have found something even more surprising. Long-term stress doesn't only make remembering harder, it can actually shrink the hippocampus. Yes, the very part of the brain responsible for memory can become smaller after long periods of chronic stress. Imagine hiring fewer librarians in an already busy library. Books start piling up. Things become disorganized. Finding information becomes slower and harder. The good news? The brain is far more flexible than most people realize. We'll come back to that in a moment. Here's another interesting fact. Stress doesn't only affect making memories, it also affects finding them. Have you ever had this experience? Someone asks you a simple question, maybe your own phone number, or the answer you studied all week. Suddenly, your mind goes completely blank. 5 minutes later, after the stressful moment is over, the answer magically appears. What happened? The memory didn't disappear. Stress simply blocked access to it. It's like having the right book in the library, but all the lights suddenly go out. The book is still there, you just can't find it. This is why many students perform worse during exams than when studying at home. The knowledge exists, stress locks the door. The same thing happens during job interviews, public speaking, driving tests, even conversations. The more pressure you feel, the harder it becomes to remember simple things. But stress doesn't stop there. It also steals your attention. Imagine trying to read a book while someone keeps shouting your name every 10 seconds. How much would you remember? Very little. Stress fills your mind with worries. What if I fail? What if something goes wrong? What if they don't like me? These thoughts compete for your attention, and attention is the first step of memory. If you never truly pay attention, your brain never gets the chance to create the memory in the first place. Now here's something hopeful. Your brain is not made of stone. It changes throughout your life. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. It means your brain can repair itself. It can build new connections. It can become healthier again. Even the hippocampus can recover when chronic stress is reduced. That means memory problems caused by stress are often not permanent. Your brain wants to heal. It simply needs the right conditions. So, what can you actually do? Fortunately, you don't need expensive supplements or miracle products. Some of the most powerful solutions are surprisingly simple. First, sleep. While you sleep, your brain organizes memories from the day. It's like the librarian finally gets a quiet night to put every book back onto the shelf. Without enough sleep, yesterday's experiences remain scattered. Second, move your body. Even a 20-minute walk lowers stress hormones. Exercise also increases blood flow to the brain and supports the growth of new brain cells, especially in the hippocampus. You don't have to become a marathon runner. Consistency matters far more than intensity. Third, give your brain moments of silence. Every minute doesn't need to be filled with music, videos, or notifications. Sometimes your brain simply needs a break. A quiet walk, deep breathing, looking out the window. These small moments allow your nervous system to calm down. Fourth, talk to someone. Stress becomes much lighter when it's shared. Humans are social creatures. Sometimes a conversation with a friend reduces stress more effectively than hours of worrying alone. Finally, remember this. Forgetting something doesn't automatically mean you're becoming less intelligent. Sometimes it simply means your brain has been carrying too much. If you've been under constant stress, your memory isn't necessarily broken. Your brain may simply be asking for rest. So the next time you forget where you left your keys or why you entered a room, don't immediately blame your age. Ask yourself another question. Have I been stressed lately? Because your brain isn't just a machine, it's a living organ. And like every part of your body, it performs best when it's cared for. If you found this video useful, consider sharing it with someone who always says, "My memory isn't what it used to be." It might not be age, it might be stress. And sometimes, understanding the problem is the first step towards solving it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.